Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your salary is no longer enough for your monthly expenses. The same income that once covered everything comfortably now feels insufficient for daily life. Groceries become more expensive every single week for ordinary middle-class families around the world. Electricity bills, fuel prices, and school fees continue rising without showing any signs of slowing down. Even small family outings or weekend dinners slowly start feeling expensive and difficult to afford anymore. For millions of people, this situation is no longer imagination but part of everyday life now. Inflation has quietly become one of the biggest financial pressures affecting ordinary households worldwide today. It affects not only family budgets but also mental peace, relationships, dreams, and future planning. Inflation simply means the prices of goods and services increase gradually over time in an economy. In simple words, money slowly loses its purchasing power because everything becomes more expensive than before. What once cost $100 or 1,000 rupees now costs significantly more than years ago. Although inflation affects everyone, middle-class families often suffer the most during difficult economic conditions worldwide. Wealthy people usually own assets and investments that grow in value during inflationary periods over time. Lower-income groups may sometimes receive financial support programs or government assistance during economic struggles and crises. However, middle-class families remain trapped between rising expenses and limited salary growth every single year. They work hard, pay taxes honestly, and still struggle to maintain financial stability in modern society. One of the first areas where inflation becomes noticeable is grocery shopping for everyday household needs regularly. Food prices increase rapidly because families constantly need groceries for survival and normal daily living activities. Flour, milk, cooking oil, vegetables, rice, meat, and eggs all become increasingly expensive with time everywhere. Families who once shopped comfortably now compare prices carefully before buying even basic household products today. Many people switch toward cheaper brands or remove unnecessary items from their shopping carts completely nowadays. Parents often sacrifice personal comforts just to ensure their children continue eating healthy meals every day properly. Dining outside becomes rare because restaurants and even fast food feel expensive during inflationary economic periods today. Something as simple as ordering pizza slowly changes from normal activity into an occasional luxury for families everywhere. The emotional impact of inflation inside homes can become extremely stressful and mentally exhausting over long periods. Parents feel pressure and guilt when they cannot provide the same lifestyle children once enjoyed comfortably before. Children may not understand economics completely, but they still notice changes happening around them inside the house. They notice smaller celebrations, fewer snacks, and parents saying "not this month" more frequently than before. Slowly, inflation changes the atmosphere inside homes and creates emotional tension between family members over time naturally. Conversations about bills, expenses, and money become more common while stress and arguments increase inside households daily. Housing is another major area where middle-class families suffer heavily because of inflation and rising living costs. Rent prices continue increasing rapidly in many cities, making comfortable living difficult for ordinary hardworking families everywhere. Families who once managed rent easily now struggle to keep up with monthly housing payments and expenses. Some households move into smaller apartments while others relocate farther from workplaces and schools to save money. Even homeowners face increasing mortgage payments, maintenance costs, and property taxes during periods of high inflation today. A single increase in rent can completely destroy a carefully planned family budget within only a short time. Savings slowly begin disappearing while emergency funds shrink because expenses rise faster than income for most families. Financial stability that once seemed secure slowly becomes difficult to maintain in modern inflation-driven economies worldwide today. Utility bills create another painful burden for middle-class families already struggling with rising household expenses every month. Electricity, gas, water, internet, and phone bills all continue becoming more expensive year after year globally today. Families start changing their lifestyles carefully just to reduce monthly utility costs and survive financially during inflation periods. Lights are switched off constantly while air conditioners and heaters are used less frequently to save money. Every appliance inside the home becomes something families monitor carefully because electricity costs continue rising continuously everywhere. Transportation costs also place enormous pressure on middle-class households trying to manage financial stability and survive economically today. Rising fuel prices increase the cost of commuting to work, school, or even visiting relatives regularly nowadays. Public transportation fares also rise, making buses, taxis, and trains less affordable for ordinary working-class people globally. Families with personal vehicles often spend large portions of their monthly income only on fuel and transportation expenses. Many people avoid unnecessary travel because road trips, vacations, and social visits become too expensive during inflation periods. Healthcare becomes another serious concern because medicines, treatments, and doctor visits continue getting more expensive every year. Middle-class families often fear medical emergencies because one illness can destroy savings built through years of hard work. Some individuals delay checkups or ignore symptoms because proper treatment becomes difficult to afford during economic struggles today. This creates a dangerous cycle where financial stress damages health, while health problems create even greater financial pressure. Education is another area where inflation creates enormous pressure for parents trying to secure better futures for children. School fees, uniforms, books, transportation, and tuition classes continue becoming more expensive almost every academic year globally. Parents strongly believe education creates opportunity, stability, and success for children in future professional and personal life. Unfortunately, inflation transforms education into a major financial challenge for many ordinary middle-class families around the world. Some parents transfer children into cheaper schools while others cancel extracurricular activities completely to reduce educational expenses nowadays. College students are also deeply affected because university fees and living costs continue rising faster than family incomes. Many students take part-time jobs while parents work overtime simply to continue paying educational expenses successfully somehow. Education, which should create hope and opportunity, slowly becomes associated with stress, sacrifice, and financial uncertainty for families. One hidden effect of inflation is the gradual destruction of savings built carefully through years of discipline and sacrifice. Middle-class families often save money for emergencies, retirement, weddings, homes, or their children's future opportunities and security. However, inflation quietly reduces the value of those savings because prices rise faster than salaries and bank interest. Families saving for homes suddenly realize property prices increase so much their savings no longer seem sufficient anymore. Retirement savings that once appeared secure slowly become uncertain because inflation continues increasing living costs every single year. Long-term planning becomes stressful because future goals feel increasingly difficult to achieve despite consistent hard work and dedication. Inflation strongly affects mental health because constant financial pressure creates anxiety, stress, and emotional exhaustion among many families. Parents worry continuously about bills, debts, future expenses, and unexpected emergencies while trying to maintain financial stability somehow. Sleepless nights become common because financial uncertainty creates fear and frustration for hardworking, middle-class individuals everywhere today. Many people feel trapped because they studied, worked honestly, and followed society's expectations yet still struggle financially daily. Relationships inside families often suffer because financial stress becomes one of the leading causes of arguments and tension. Spending decisions become sensitive topics, while even small purchases slowly turn into debates between family members frequently nowadays. Children also feel emotional pressure when parents constantly discuss bills, debts, and financial difficulties around them daily inside homes. Inflation does not only affect spending habits but also changes dreams and long-term future plans for many families. Middle-class families dream about buying homes, starting businesses, traveling, or giving children better opportunities and successful futures someday. Unfortunately, inflation forces people to postpone these dreams repeatedly because survival becomes more important than long-term aspirations today. Vacations become impossible while plans for homes, businesses, or even marriages are delayed because costs keep increasing constantly. Many people begin surviving month to month instead of truly living with comfort, peace, and financial confidence anymore today. Shopping behavior also changes dramatically because families become far more careful and price-conscious during inflationary economic conditions worldwide. People compare brands carefully, search for discounts, buy cheaper products, and avoid luxury items completely whenever possible nowadays. Shopping malls become places to browse instead of buy because many products no longer feel affordable for ordinary families. Social media makes financial pressure even worse by constantly displaying luxurious lifestyles and expensive purchases online every single day. Many people compare their lives with others online and begin feeling insecure, frustrated, or financially unsuccessful because of inflation. Debt becomes another major problem because families increasingly rely on credit cards and loans to survive monthly expenses somehow. Over time, debt accumulates while rising interest rates make repayments more stressful and financially exhausting for households everywhere today. Employment insecurity also increases because companies facing higher costs often reduce hiring, cut salaries, or lay off workers entirely. Many people begin working multiple jobs or freelance side hustles simply to support their families and maintain financial stability. Younger generations are heavily affected because buying homes, raising children, or achieving stability feels increasingly difficult and unrealistic today. Retired middle-class individuals also struggle because pension income often remains fixed while living expenses continue increasing every year. Elderly people who spent decades saving money suddenly struggle affording groceries, medicine, transportation, and utility bills during retirement years. Governments and central banks tried different methods to control inflation and reduce economic instability affecting ordinary citizens worldwide today. However, solutions like higher interest rates often create new financial difficulties for families already struggling with rising expenses. Despite these challenges, middle-class families constantly adapt by budgeting carefully and reducing unnecessary spending whenever possible nowadays. Many people learn financial planning skills, search for side incomes, and cook more meals at home to save money. Communities and relatives become important because emotional support helps families survive difficult economic periods together successfully somehow. Technology also helps people manage finances through budgeting apps, online discounts, freelance work, and financial education platforms today. Inflation raises serious concerns about the shrinking middle class in many countries around the world currently facing instability. The middle class once represented stability, opportunity, economic growth, and hope for ordinary, hardworking citizens across societies worldwide. If inflation continues weakening purchasing power, inequality between rich and poor may increase dramatically in future generations globally. In the end, inflation is more than rising prices because it affects hope, stability, and the everyday lives of millions. The emotional effects of inflation often stay hidden behind normal daily life and responsibilities. Many people smile publicly while privately worrying about bills and daily expenses every day. Parents sacrifice comfort to provide better futures for their children despite financial struggles today. Students continue chasing education despite rising tuition fees and uncertain financial conditions everywhere today. Workers keep fighting for stability despite rising expenses and constant economic pressure in modern life. Inflation tests society's patience and ability to survive difficult financial conditions worldwide today. Some families realize happiness does not always depend on luxury lifestyles or expensive possessions anymore. Others become financially disciplined because hardship teaches careful spending and money management over time. Still, inflation has transformed daily life for middle-class families around the world significantly today. It has changed how people eat, travel, shop, save, and plan for financial stability today. Inflation has created stress silently carried by millions of families every single day worldwide today. The biggest danger of inflation is people slowly losing hope about their future and stability. When hardworking families feel effort is not enough, societies face deeper social and emotional problems. Inflation is more than numbers shown on economic charts or television news every single day. It is the parent calculating bills late at night while worrying about family expenses constantly today. It is the student stressing over tuition fees and future financial stability in modern society today. It is the worker taking extra shifts to afford groceries, rent, and utility bills every month. It is the elderly couple reducing expenses carefully just to buy medicine and basic necessities peacefully. It represents millions of ordinary people trying to survive in an increasingly expensive modern world today. Sometimes even hardworking people struggle against economic forces beyond their personal control in modern societies today. Another effect of inflation is the growing fear of emergencies among middle-class families worldwide today. Families constantly worry about illnesses, accidents, or sudden job losses affecting financial stability overnight unexpectedly today. One emergency expense can destroy years of savings and create debt for struggling middle-class families everywhere. This constant fear slowly damages emotional peace and confidence inside ordinary households over time naturally today. Inflation also changes how parents think about children's future opportunities and financial security in adulthood today. Many parents fear children may never experience the same stability previous generations once enjoyed comfortably before inflation. Buying homes or starting families feels more difficult for younger generations in expensive economies today worldwide. Young adults fear spending life struggling financially, despite working hard and earning degrees successfully today worldwide. Inflation combined with stagnant wages creates frustration because salaries fail to match rising living expenses worldwide today. Families often feel they are working constantly but never truly moving forward financially despite hard work. This feeling creates hopelessness among many hardworking middle-class individuals in modern societies today worldwide globally. Social gatherings are affected because inflation makes travel, dining, and celebrations more expensive nowadays globally today. Families reduce spending on birthdays, weddings, vacations, and festivals to manage household responsibilities first today worldwide. Many people stop enjoying hobbies because survival becomes more important than relaxation during difficult financial periods today. Inflation slowly removes small joys from life and replaces them with stress and budgeting every single day. Some families become isolated because they cannot afford activities they once enjoyed comfortably before inflation today. Technology has created opportunities for families trying to survive difficult economic conditions worldwide today globally now. Many individuals start online businesses or remote jobs to increase income and reduce financial pressure today. Others use digital tools to track expenses and improve budgeting during uncertain financial situations nowadays globally today. Financial awareness has become more important because modern conditions require disciplined money management skills today worldwide globally. Schools often fail to teach practical financial education despite budgeting becoming essential survival knowledge nowadays worldwide today. Parents now teach children about saving money and responsible spending from younger ages than before previously today. Inflation also reminds people about the importance of family support during economic hardship everywhere today worldwide globally. Friends and relatives often support each other emotionally and financially during difficult times caused by inflation today. Hardship sometimes strengthens relationships because people learn the value of emotional support and understanding in life. Despite challenges, middle-class families continue fighting for better futures and refusing to completely give up today. Parents still dream about giving children opportunities they themselves never had despite financial struggles today worldwide. Students continue studying because they believe education can improve future opportunities and financial conditions. Someday later, eventually, workers continue striving for success even when economic systems feel unfair and emotionally exhausting today worldwide globally. Inflation forces society to rethink priorities, spending habits, and the meaning of financial success in life. Some people realize happiness does not always come from luxury lifestyles or expensive material possessions anymore today. Others become emotionally stronger because hardship teaches valuable lessons about money and survival over time. Naturally today, however, inflation continues creating uncertainty for millions of middle-class families across different countries worldwide today globally. Rising living costs make ordinary people feel life is becoming harder, despite economic development everywhere today globally. The shrinking middle class is concerning because stable societies create stronger economies and communities overall worldwide today globally. Historically, the middle class represented opportunity, growth, education, and stability for hardworking citizens throughout history globally. If inflation continues rising, inequality between rich and poor may increase dangerously in future societies worldwide today. This growing gap could create frustration and loss of trust among ordinary, hardworking people everywhere globally today worldwide. Inflation is not only an economic issue but also a serious social and emotional challenge affecting societies deeply. Economists explain moderate inflation can support economic growth under balanced financial conditions, sometimes in modern economies today. However, when inflation rises quickly while salaries remain stagnant, ordinary families suffer severe financial consequences worldwide today. Governments constantly search for ways to control inflation without creating unemployment or economic instability worldwide today globally. Unfortunately, higher interest rates often create difficulties for households already struggling financially in modern economies today worldwide. Loan repayments become expensive while businesses reduce hiring during uncertain economic periods caused by inflation today worldwide. This creates fear among workers already worrying about job security and rising household expenses every month today. Despite everything, people continue adapting because humans are naturally resilient during hardship and economic uncertainty worldwide today. Families learn budgeting, reduce unnecessary expenses, and search for creative ways to survive financial struggles today worldwide. Many people discover strengths they never realized while managing inflation and supporting loved ones during hardship today. Inflation changes how people think about money, stability, and long-term goals in modern life significantly today worldwide. It forces families to become more careful and realistic about spending habits and future financial planning decisions. Inflation reveals how deeply financial stability connects with emotional well-being and family relationships in society today worldwide. Constant stress about money slowly affects confidence, happiness, and mental peace among hardworking people everywhere today globally. Many people silently carry emotional burdens while pretending everything is completely fine publicly every single day today. Inflation teaches that financial struggles can happen even to responsible and hardworking ordinary families everywhere today worldwide. It reminds society that economic systems strongly affect people's lives regardless of effort or education nowadays worldwide today. Millions of middle-class families continue trying despite uncertainty, rising costs, and constant financial pressure worldwide today globally. They continue sacrificing and working hard while hoping for better stability and brighter futures ahead someday eventually. Their determination shows the strength ordinary people display during difficult periods of economic uncertainty worldwide today globally. In the end, inflation is not only about expensive products but emotional struggles hidden behind everyday life today. It is the stress parents carry while protecting children from financial worries and household difficulties every month. It is the fear workers feel when salaries no longer match the cost of surviving in society today. It is the uncertainty students face while pursuing education in a world where stability feels difficult today worldwide. It is the silent pressure elderly people face while managing retirement expenses and rising healthcare costs nowadays globally. Inflation affects how people live, think, dream, spend money, and plan for future security in life today. It transforms ordinary routines into financial calculations and turns simple comforts into difficult decisions for families worldwide. The biggest danger appears when people slowly begin losing hope that hard work will truly feel enough someday. When the middle class loses stability, the effects extend beyond economics into society and emotional well-being overall today. Strong middle-class families help build stable communities, healthy economies, and opportunities for future generations worldwide today globally. Protecting middle-class stability is important for maintaining social balance and long-term hope in societies worldwide today globally. Inflation may be part of economic systems, but uncontrolled inflation creates suffering for millions of ordinary people worldwide. That is why understanding inflation and its impact has become more important than ever before today worldwide. Families must learn budgeting and financial awareness to survive uncertain economic conditions in modern societies today worldwide. Governments and businesses must understand the emotional impact inflation creates for hardworking middle-class citizens everywhere today worldwide. Behind every economic report are real families struggling quietly to maintain dignity, stability, and hope for tomorrow today. Inflation is ultimately a story about survival, sacrifice, resilience, and the fight for financial security in life. Millions of ordinary people continue facing these challenges while trying to protect loved ones and future dreams today. Their struggles reveal both the harsh realities of modern economies and resilience of hardworking families worldwide today globally. Even during difficult times, people continue adapting and supporting each other despite growing uncertainty around the world today. And perhaps that resilience gives middle-class families strength to keep moving forward despite inflation and hardship everywhere.